Everybody, it's Al from Boston making another AMC update video, this time on motivation and condition to hold. Let's give you some reasoning, some sound reasoning, some sound logic on why you should hold. And it's pretty it's evident. I mean, everyone's tired. Here's the problem as I see it. You're tired. You want your money before Christmas. You're frustrated. Your wife, your spouse, your kids, all your bills are piling up because you're buying AMC shares. But now there's no more shares to be bought, right? There's whatever's left, synthetics, if that, it's that scarce right now. So why do you hold? Why should you hold? I'm going to explain it to you right now. All right. I'm going to give you the motivation to hold and the conviction to hold. These are logical things. Just hear me out. These hedge funds spend billions and billions of dollars over the past 10, 11 months trying to stay alive, trying not to lose their life, their business. This is what's called an extinction level event. So they are doing everything in their power to stay alive. That it means masking the numbers of volume, level 3, you name it, they're doing it in order to shake you off. These companies, marketing companies that they've hired, are essentially FUD factories. They produce fear, undecisiveness, and I'll say this much: depression. That's what I know. FUD normally stands for fear and all that other stuff, but in this community, it's like depression is what they're pushing out. I swear to you. Listen, these marketing companies that they hired, they're doing their jobs. They're creating FUD. They're creating hate and discontent all over the community, and they're spending billions and millions of dollars on this plan, trying to get people, anything to get people to sell their shares, millions upon millions into the billions. They have shills, they have fake accounts, they have produced countless articles on bad press, and they've done it. They've done it all. So you can name it, and they've probably done it, right? You've seen it in the last 10 months. Why would they spend this kind of money to hold? Because this is the greatest transfer of wealth in human history. There's no other way around it. You cannot even challenge that thought, that notion, because that's what this is. People don't spend this kind of money unless they had a lot to lose. And in this case, it's billions and billions of dollars. Let's think about the institutional investors that are in this play, right? Let's think about that for a second. There are probably close to 381 institutional buyers of this stock, right? AMC. These is who are involved. There's banks, there's hedge funds, there's insurance companies, there's investment advisory groups, pension funds, private equity, holding companies, corporations, governments, hello, McFly, governments, trusts, brokerages, other brokerage accounts, and sovereign wealth funds. This is 381 different people or different organizations that bought AMC. Why do you suppose they did that? Do you think this is a depreciating asset? Do you think this is a shit product? These people, these institutions are run by the smartest finance managers in the world. JP Morgan Swiss, Credit Suisse. These are heavy hitters, people. Royal Bank of Canada. These are heavy hitters. They all have assets in AMC. Why? Is it because this is the greatest transfer of wealth and they're smart enough to see what it was? They kept doing their due diligence, kept tabs on this stock play, and eventually they figured out, oh my God, this is a ticking time bomb. We can make a fortune off this. Yes, that's exactly what happened. These institutions saw what was happening. They kept tabs, and finally they said, you know what? They brought this to their bosses. We can make $1 trillion by screwing over Citadel and these hedge funds by buying in these shares. So they bought millions and millions of dollars worth of shares in AMC. And you know what? That's what happened. Why? Why did they do this? Because they see that it's the greatest transfer of wealth in human history. There's no other way around it. There's nothing that can be argued about this. And they're coming in late. We're so much ahead. I mean, collectively, we have more shares than them. They're coming in late anyway. So, but they're still going to get their nut, if you will, right? Let's talk about data fraud. How much data fraud have we seen in the last 10 months? All the fake numbers, all the fake data sources that they've created, trying to mask numbers, all the dark pool stuff, all kinds of murky stuff, right? Think about all the cryptos and the equity pump and dumps that we've seen. All the fake squeezes for all these other shares, trying to get people to move their money from AMC to this, to that, to the other, in order to tie up money, in order for them to take money on options. Look at all the options money that we lost, because they would lure us in with like fake promises, and they give us a couple bucks, and all of a sudden the thing would plummet like 350 to like $39 or some crazy number, and nobody saw it coming. And they, and then those dumbasses who do it week after week, you think they're going to beat the system. Citadel is both firemen and arsonists. They put out their own flames. You are not going to win in the crypto in the game of derivatives with the market maker. It doesn't work that way, right? They paid millions in court fees, right? So many different cases going on with them. There's, I don't know, thousands of SEC complaints that are on Citadel right now, right? And they're investigating all of them. They're going through, picking up patterns. They're going to be in the law or in the court, the federal court system for years because of all the complaints that were lodged. Why? Because anything they can do to survive, they could just plead out and pay the fine, but they can't. They won't want to. Why? Because they want to beat us. They can't beat us, though. The game's already over. They paid millions and millions of dollars paying off politicians. They paid into PACs, super PACs, funds, Senate House, and congressional houses. They've paid for all kinds of publicity for these politicians. Why? Because they want to win. They need every help they can get in order for them to win. They'll pay off anybody. It doesn't matter. You saw this past weekend the judges that they had in their network. It's very simple. They'll do everything in their power to win. This ought to tell you how desperate they are, how we have it in the bag. This is signed, sealed, and delivered to us. All we have to do is hold. That's it. All retail has to do is hold throughout the entire processes. Even when the institutional sells and time goes by, and the next week, 2 weeks, 3 months, whatever it takes, all you have to do is hold, and you can reach life-changing numbers. That's the thing. A lot of people don't understand that the game here is to hold past the institutions. That's all you have to do. If you can hold past the institutions, and we let all the bullshit from all the institutions fly by us, we can exceed what they had, and there's nothing they can do. We will fly by. We will soar past them in terms of our money per share, per dollar per share. So these are all things that are feasible. All of it is feasible. It's all realistic. It's all doable, right? So all you have to do is just hold. And the motivation here for you is life-changing money. That's all you have to do. It doesn't require you to do anything. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you a penny to hold. It costs them millions and millions and into the billions. As this thing goes up and the stock market starts declining, it's going to be in the B's, man. In the B's, billions. These shorting hedge funds don't have a prayer, right? That's how much conviction I have in this stock. It's a freebie. It's a gift from God. It's there. It's a check waiting to get cashed. All you have to do is wait for these clowns to roll over, to be done with it. We're waiting for a catalyst. And you're losing your mind because you're so hyper-focused, hyper-vigilant. That's going to blow up at one point for you. And it's going to, osmosis into your personal life, into your professional life. Detach from this play emotionally and psychologically, because it will drive you nuts watching this every day and going up and down, up and down. You'll lose your damn mind. Stop looking at it. Put on an alert system. When it reaches 100, it'll ring you. If it reaches 50, it'll ring you, whatever. But don't be hyper vigilant. You'll lose your damn mind. And I really mean that. So there's some question about who's going to be paying us, right? And a lot of people don't understand how this works. So let me explain to you how it really goes down. All right. We start squeezing, right? Who's going to first, who are the people that are going to first buy the shares back? Well, it's very simple. The shorting hedge funds, the people that are shorting us, they have to buy back the shares. And whatever they cannot buy, they go into default. They go into a default state through the NSCC, which is a subsection of the DTCC. Long story short, they're the clearinghouse, right? If they don't have the money, the short hedges don't have the money, or they can't buy shares, the DTCC is the default system payment. In other words, they take all of their blue chip stocks, they put them either on hold or they liquidate them. Okay, it's their choice. And then they start buying stock, whatever price is available at that time. So overnight, somebody could put in an offer, and DTC would buy that out, whatever the price is. Nobody knows. No, you know what I mean? It could be $1,000 over, $100 over the price, or it could be 1,000 or 10,000. Nobody knows. But reasonable offers are accepted by the DTC, and there is a risk management system associated with this. They're called reasonable offers. What is considered a reasonable offer to the DTC? And considering how much scarcity there is. All right. And let's say both GME and AMC exceed the $67 trillion insurance policy. That is essentially how much money they're insured for. Okay. There's $67 trillion in insurance money that's compiled by the investment banks and you know, all the hedge funds and all that stuff. They pay into this fund. And if there's ever a default by one of these companies, these people would be the first on the chopping block. They would have to give this money to the investors that are cashing in, and that would be the end of it. They would be made reconcile, and that's what that insurance policy is there for. If by chance this thing exceeds $67 trillion, the federal government would reimburse us. They would make us whole. That's the exact verbiage I was told. They would make the investors whole, the federal government, the U.S. government, because it's a U.S. market product, right? That's how it's all about. I know some of you guys asked me about market capitalization and this, that, and the other. Al, if this thing goes to $100,000, wouldn't the market cap of AMC and GME be like 60 trillion or whatever? Yeah, for like 30 minutes. Dude, it doesn't matter. If the market cap of this company is like for like maybe a half hour, you know, $30 trillion, who gives a shit? Who cares? People are going to be selling. It's going to be, the market cap is going to be at a certain price for like maybe a half hour, an hour, or however long until people start selling their shares. It doesn't make any sense, right? But that just it would be worth trillions. So what? For like a minute, it was worth trillions, and they're hyper focused. That value isn't retained. That value is there for about a half hour, then it's over with, right? So don't worry, we're all going to get paid, and this isn't going to be a problem. We're going to get paid, all right? They're going to pay us our money. They cannot say no. They have to pay us our money. They don't have a choice. It's just the way the system is. They built the system. They didn't play by the system rules. We did, and now we're going to rape them and pillage their pocketbooks. No other way to word that. I apologize if you were offended by it, but that's the truth. It really is the truth. We're going to take them to the cleaners. We're going to take every dollar that they have. So that's what I have for you. That's my motivation and my conviction to hold. It is very simple, you guys. We don't need to buy anymore, I don't think. Well, you might. If you want to buy some more. But hold. Hold until this thing is over with. And realize what you have. Realize that you have the greatest transfer of wealth in your hands in human history. Don't be that person, that guy or girl that will give away the wealth. If you need to take a second job, take a second job. If you need to do whatever to make your payments, make your payments. But do not sell the stock. You will regret it for the rest of your life. And I guarantee you that. So sorry for the colorful language today. I just get really passionate when I get into this AMC thing. When I get in my AMC mode. If you found value in this, hey, share my YouTube page, and let's get more people educated on the processes. I'm going to do another series on the squeeze and the mechanics of the squeeze, how each week is kind of go around and how you're going to feel and what they're going to be doing, what their expectations are, and the enemy's first line of defense, essentially. So that's what I'm going to make next. Thank you for joining me. Al from Boston, signing out. Take care.